welcome, and here we are. We're on another review slash update, and I was looking through my collection of films, and I found there was a few zombie films that I wanted to talk about, so I decided to just pick 10 zombie films to talk about, and these are films that they're not really that heard of. I didn't include Lucio Fulci's first Zombie. I didn't include the George Romero films in here. A lot of these films are unheard of zombie films. So the first one that I wanted to do is, I'm not sure if this is on DVD. I read it was, but I'm pretty sure it's like a real crappy, cheap DVD. It's Hard Rock Zombies. This has cool cover art. I really like this film a lot. Some people don't like this movie. I think it's really bad, but if you're into B movies straight from the 80s, this film is a great film. In that genre. I mean, overall, it's not the greatest film, but it's very, very cheesy, and it's a throwback straight to the 80s. If you're into 80s stuff, this movie is really, you'll really enjoy this. It's just pretty much about a rock band that they go to this town, and they go to this mansion where they get killed and they get resurrected, and they fight off all these zombies in the town. This one's a really good one. If you haven't seen this, check it out. Hard Rock Zombies. The next one is Flesh Eater. I love this movie, and not too many people ever talk about this. Bill Hinsman, he's also the zombie in the beginning of Night of the Living Dead. He directed this film. This film is really, really good. It's a rip-off of Night of the Living Dead, but since Bill Hinsman directed it, I feel that it's alright if you ripped it off a little bit. This film it's about these kids that are up at they go on a hayride up into these mountains, and these zombies attack. But this film, it's really good. Can't really explain it that well, but this film is great. If you're into zombie films, check this out. And it's real low budget. The special features on here are really good. It's like the behind the scenes. The cover art of this CD is it's the credit sequence too. This is one of my all-time favorite title cards ever. It's for this film. This film is really good. If you haven't seen this, check Flesh Eater out. Next one is The Dead Next Door. Some of you may have already heard of this. This is an 8mm film. I'm not the biggest fan of this. I just put it in here as just one of the ones I picked. It came out that Sam Raimi actually funded this film. $7,000 was shot on 8mm. But this is it's a pretty good zombie film. This is really, really cheesy, shot on 8mm. If you're into low budget films or in your filmmaking yourself, check this one out. I remember Bruce Campbell did the voice for one of all the voices are dubbed over, shot on 8mm, but it's an okay film. I would check this one out. Next is Kung Fu Zombie. I actually love this movie. I watched this with my father's into Kung Fu films. He didn't really like this one that much. I thought this was great. Billy Chong, his name is, Billy Chong. He's in a few of the 80s Kung Fu ones. This is it has to do with it's a kung fu film mixed with zombies, and there's vampires in there. This is a good one. If you never saw this one's a little bit hard to explain. There's so many different subplots. The father dies, he comes back to life. This is a good one. They find this voodoo doctor who can resurrect bodies. He fights them off. The main guy's a vampire in it though, but there are zombies. This is a good one. If you can find this, check this one out. Kung Fu Zombie. This one I like a lot. Zombie Holocaust. There's a boat motor scene in this where they stick a boat motor on the zombie's face. It's a pretty good special effect. This is actually two films spliced together. This is Dr. Butcher, I believe it is. It's two films. Half of it's the one film, and they shot the rest. The director of this film is what's his name? He's oblivious. He doesn't even know what the movie's like. There's special features. They shouldn't even interviewed him. It's from 1980, and this is not a Freak Show release, but the director of this, he doesn't even know what is going on. They're asking him, Marino Girolami. He don't even know what's going on. They're asking him about scenes in the film. He's like, I never watched the movie even when it came out. He's like, I just edited it. He doesn't even know what the film. He can't answer none of the questions about it. It's hilarious. But the guy who did Street Trash had something to do with this, because I can't remember his name at the moment. The guy that did Street Trash, there's this thing, Tales That Tear Your Heart Out. They have them on here, and it's short films for these college students. But he had something to do with this. This one's known for lots of hatred around the internet. This is Children of the Living Dead. I remember I bought this just because Tom Savini was in it. This film is, I don't think it's a good movie by any means, but I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. I just think it's nothing special, nothing bad, but as people, people put this down very, very, they put this down a lot. They say this is one of the worst movies of all times. I didn't find it to be that bad. It was boring, but it's not the worst movie, but I wouldn't really pick this one up. But if you're into Tom Savini, he has like a real small cameo. His name's all over it though. It reminded me of the Intruder DVD, but Intruder's actually a really good film with that Bruce Campbell thing. Next one is Burial Ground, Nights of Terror. This film became popular in like the last couple of years. I don't know why. I was actually a fan of this film. I remember when I first picked this up on VHS copy, you could not find information about this film anywhere. On IMDb, there was like only a few reviews for it. Now this movie, it got like a big cult following to it when the DVD was released. The VHS tape, the picture quality is like terrible. I watched that. I haven't seen this in about 3 or 4 years, and when I first watched it, I was like young. I was in like 8th grade, and I thought it like shocked me a little bit. There's lots of weird stuff in this movie. This is not like, there's a lot of weird stuff in this zombie movie. There's some pretty funny stuff too, there's like this one scene where the zombies are fighting everybody, and there's like one zombie handing weapons. They're on the line, like grabbing weapons. But this movie, I remember zombies can climb walls, and this is a good one. It's an Italian-made one from the 80s. If you're into zombie movies and you're into Italian films, definitely check this one out. But check the DVD out. But I don't know but I have a VHS copy of this too. But they cleared the picture off. It was so dark, the VHS copy. They cleared the picture off on the DVD. Burial Ground, check this one out. Now the next 3 we have is the last 3 in the zombie series. I mean, there's a lot of unofficial sequels, but these are like released on DVD sequels to Lucio Fulci's Zombie. Lucio Fulci's Zombie, if you see my other videos, I have the poster hanging up in my room. But the first one is the one Lucio Fulci left halfway through, and Bruno Mattei, it was Bruno Mattei to come in and finish directing this. Bruno Mattei, I actually love this movie. This was the first one in the series that I actually seen. I remember I saw it in Blockbuster when I was like in 7th grade, and they didn't have Zombie 1. They only had this, a VHS copy and a DVD copy of Zombie 3. Why, I don't know. I rented it, and it was like one of the first dubbed Italian films I've ever seen, and I thought it was pretty good. I wasn't into Italian at the time, but this is like one of the first Italian ones I've seen, and I watched this a couple times. I really like this movie. I don't know why people don't like this. Even like the half that Fulci did, this is actually a really good film. There's some really good special effects in this. This is a good movie. If you haven't seen this, check this one out. It's a good zombie one. Second one's another one everybody hates, Zombie 4. I watched this once on here and I never watched it again, but I thought this was a great film. It's not a great film. It's good. It's not. This one's hated even more in part 3. This film I actually liked. It's really, really cheesy. There's this one scene where like this voodoo guy rips this guy's face off. I remember I watched this in my little cousin. He was like screaming when he seen it. He was young now. But this is a very, very good film. If you haven't seen this, check this out. I can't see why people don't like this. It's a good movie. If you're into zombie movies, check Zombie 4 out. This one don't go anywhere near. I have never made it through the entire Zombie 5, and I watched a lot of reviews on this, and a lot of people have not been able to get through this film either. The Killing Birds was the original name for it. This movie is, it is bad. It is boring as hell. I've gotten through some of the worst movies. I never put it in again. I watched like the first 30 minutes of it. This movie's bad. This movie is terrible. Do not go anywhere near this movie. Zombie 5, that's it. This movie, I did not like this at all. I don't even remember what it's about. But I remember watching about 20 minutes of it about 3 or 4 years ago, and I could not stand any more of it. This movie sucks. That's it for like a zombie update I did. I'm going to see Inglourious Bastards tomorrow, and I should have a vlog up for that, so check that out. And that's all. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with some more reviews. Please subscribe if you like these videos. I'm trying to get more subscribers, but thank you. Check my other videos out.